I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Unfazed with your boys JJ and AJ. Happy Memorial Day to all. Hopefully everybody's off work, everybody kicking back and enjoying themselves and tuning in, not to First Take, not to First Things First, not to any of the other sports shows, but to Unfazed with JJ and AJ. Man, we got a lot to get to, man. Obviously the conference finals are underway, so there's a ton to dive into. But before we do all that, I got to ask my co-host, JJ, Joe Jordan, how you doing? How you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. It's Memorial Day. Shout out to all the vets we got out there that hold it down for our country. We appreciate y'all. And looking forward to talking about these games. The Eastern Conference Finals been very interesting, dominant by one team. In the Western Conference Finals, it's a battle. So I know you on one side, I'm on the other side. I know we haven't talked about it, but now it's even, and it's a perfect time to talk about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But before we get to the West, we got to talk a little bit about the East. We're going to say the West for later. That might be the most fun and exciting topic that we talk about. So we're going to say that, let some more people get in the building. We're going to talk about the Knicks and the Cavs to start today's show. Obviously, the Knicks right now are up on the Cavs 3-0, looking to sweep tonight. Has this series told you more about the Knicks or the Cavs?
That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but I'm going to go with the Knicks, man. I'm going to go with the Knicks. But let me talk about the Cavs first because, there was a coach out there that talks about analytics. I feel like this series, it was balling down to coaching at the end of the day. Coaching and star player. I think Mike Brown's out-coaching Kenny Atkins, and I think that Jalen Brunson is outperforming Donovan Mitchell. So, who people consider a superstar, I still think he's a superstar, but he's at the bottom tier of superstars. The Cavaliers, Kenny Atkins, you want analytics? I got analytics for you. How about this? You're being outscored, -40. You're being out-rebound, -10. You're being out-assist, -19th. You're being out-turnover. You turn the ball over more, +5, because it's turnover, +5. Your field goal percentage, you're -9. Your three-point percentage, you're -5. Your free throw percentage, you're -5. And most important, you're -3 in wins. So, Kenny Atkins, I don't want to hear analytics talking about analytically y'all won 2 out of 3 games. What? Because of the expected score? Nobody cares about that. We care about the real score, the real wins. And right now, you are down in real scores, and you are down in real wins right now. Star player, Brunson. In the first 3 quarters, AJ, did you know that Jalen Brunson's averaging 17 points a game? And Donovan Mitchell's averaging 21? He's outscoring Brunson in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter in money time, Spider only averaging 5 a game, while Brunson's averaging 11. I believe Brunson has a better supporting cast than Donovan Mitchell, but yeah, he's still outperforming him. Donovan Mitchell will have to do more or at least equal Brunson just to give them a chance to win. And not just scoring, AJ. How about taking care of the ball and assisting the ball? Jalen Brunson is leading the series in assists right now, which is crazy when you got James Harden over there. A lot of people want to kill James Harden. He is having a bad series. averaging 3.3 assists a game and 4 turnovers, more turnovers a game than assists. But Brunson is averaging 8 assists a game. Spider only averaging 2. And they both averaging the same amount of turnovers. So Spider is not elevating his game like he should be to keep them intact. But like I said in the beginning, it's more about the New York Knicks, right? More about the Knicks, AJ. I know you want to talk about the Knicks, but let me say something first, though. I got you, bro. The New York Knicks, Mike Brown came and saved the day. Because last year with Tibbs, yeah, we love Tibbs. They played hard, but he run them guys to the dirt. The offense wasn't potent like it is right now. We both came on and said, Cat got to be more involved. You said Cat got to be tougher, and they made an adjustment literally the day after we came out with that episode. And look at this. In the playoffs right now, the Knicks are first in points per game, first in field goal percentage, first in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, and first in plus minus. Wow. Why is that? Did you know last season they were 14 in assists per game in the playoffs? This year, averaging 19.8. This year, they're third, averaging 26.2. That's 7 a game. That's crazy. That's a big jump. And it's Mike Brown. And because they are because they are sharing the ball, moving the ball around, last year, they were 10th in 3-point percentage. This year in the playoffs, they are first. Why is that? Brunson still being Brunson. Averaging 29 points per game last season. Sorry, this season. Averaging 27 points per game. He's still cooking. Leading this team. Cat last year was averaging 21 points per game. This year, he only averaging 16.8. But the difference, you mentioned it, my guy. Last year, he averaged 1.3 assists per game. This year, he's averaging 6.1. What? That's a huge jump. OG, the second leading scorer in this team, by the way. So, and Brunson and Cat has the same amount of usage rate as they had last year, kind of similar, like a little bit less. It's a little tad bit less, but they're being used differently. And here's the kicker right here. This is the last point I'm going to pass to you. It's the minutes per game, man. Now, obviously, Brunson's your best player. He's going to play a lot of minutes. Last year, he averaged 37.8 minutes per game. This year, he averaging 39.2. So, 36.5. So, he's averaging 1 minute less this year. Last year, OG, your best defender, was averaging 39-point game. This year, averaging 34. Those are 2 high minutes guys, right? But the rest, AJ, last year they had a 7-man rotation of playing 20 minutes a game. That's crazy. Mikal Bridges, 39 a game. Josh Hart, 35 a game. Karl Anthony Towns, 35 a game. Mitchell Robinson, 20 a game. Miles McBride, 19 per game, and the 8th person was 8 per game. That's a huge guy, 19 and 8. This year, they are in a 10-man, 9-man rotation. We talked about Jalen Brunson and OG. Josh Hart, 33 a game, which is less than last year. Mikal Bridges, 31 per game, less than last year. Karl Anthony Towns, 30 a game. Miles McBride, 19 a game. Mitchell Robinson, 13 a game. Landry Salmon, 13 a game. Jordan Clarkson, 12 a game. Mike Brown just changed the whole game offensively. They're still good defensively, and he got these boys playing well. So I'm going to say it's saying more about the Knicks than it is the Cavaliers.
Joe, I think you said it best, man. This question is extremely tough to answer. I'm not going to lie. This question is tough to answer, and you could go either way. I've decided to save the Knicks conversation for our next topic. Because I got some things to say about the New York Knicks. I think this series in particular is telling me more about the Cavs than it is the Knicks. Because I know the Knicks are NBA Finals bound. I knew coming into this series that the Knicks were NBA Finals bound. I knew that the Knicks were the better team than the Cleveland Cavaliers coming into this series. I picked the Knicks to win this series in 6 games. So I knew coming into this series that the Knicks were the better overall team given how they were playing. You know, they might have more name brand guys over there with Cleveland, right? You got James Harden, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got the former Defensive Player of the Year over there as well. But the way the Knicks have been playing as a unit have been special all postseason long. But the Cavs, you're in the conference finals. If I'm not mistaken, this is Donovan Mitchell's first conference finals appearance. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this will be one of James Harden's last opportunities to go and win a championship. And you come out, see the rest and fatigue, it works two ways. I get it. You're fresh off of 2 back-to-back game sevens, a game 7 in game 1, or in series in the first round, a game 7 in the second round. And you come out in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, full on the gas pedal, have the New York Knicks reeling, down 22 points in the fourth quarter. And then Donovan Mitchell and James Harden go, I believe it was 1 for 17 from the field. While the New York Knicks, headlined by Jalen Brunson, target James Harden all quarter long to push the game into overtime and to win. At that point, Joe, the series was over.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, the series was over. Since that point, since those moments, the Cavs have shown us zero heart. That's why I think it tells us more about the Cavs than it does the Knicks, because the Cavs could put up a much better fight than how they're playing right now. This series could easily be 2-2 with the better performances from your stars. This series could easily be 2-2, right, with better performances from your role players. But at the end of the day, their defense has been atrocious. They have not been effective offensively, right? As far as, shooting percentages and things like that. Their star players have not shown up. The wing defenders, like Anunoby, like Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges, have given those guys issues. And then again, they have no answers. No answers for Brunson whatsoever. He can get wherever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants, to a bucket. The mere fact, going back to game 1 day, he alone outscored your 2 best players in one quarter when they were down 22 is insane. You just saw the last game, Joe. I understand. I get it. The game is out of reach. You up, I don't know, 10, 15 points. It's only like 2 minutes left in the game, whatever the case may be. Right now, if this was the Pacers from last year, they'd tell you no game is out of reach in the playoffs, but that's a conversation for another day. We talking about the Cavs and the Knicks right now. You see how Jalen Brunson was able to come off his screen, run right by guys to a layup, and guys just sitting back just watching them. We talk about Jarrett Allen. We talk about Evan Mobley. We talk about Donovan Mitchell. We talking about guys who we have a ton of respect for. Mm-hmm. Guys that we expect a lot, much more from, that just have not brought it all series long. Those guys look comfortable. Those guys look complacent. They look as if they feel as though their season has been a success, 1 round away from the NBA Finals. And so right now, I think it says more to me about the Cavs, because they have, outside of game 1, they have displayed zero heart. And it goes back to what I said before the playoffs started. Number 1, James Harden has had moments in the postseason, but I don't trust James Harden. And number 2, and arguably more important, because I think he's gonna escape a lot of accountability going forward. But I do not believe Donovan Mitchell is the number 1 option on a championship team. I don't believe it. I've now seen this experiment too many times to believe that he is a number 1 caliber guy on a championship team. I just don't see it. So I think it tells me more about the Cavs and the Knicks, and I fully expect the Cavs to be big swingers in the offseason. I fully expect them to try to swing for LeBron if they can.
See, this is why I don't think this says more about the Cavaliers, because everything you mentioned, yes, Donovan Mitchell takes some blame. Like I also agree with you on that. But the coaching, man, supposed to step in and help, and he is exposing himself, because last year, don't forget, analytically, they dominated regular season, and they were the number 1 seed. They were on pace to break the Warriors' record at one point. It was crazy, and then they get to the playoffs and lose in the second round. So. And you don't do that when you have that great of a season. So when you mentioned the 22-point lead they had, you know what happened within that 22-point lead outside of Donovan Mitchell doing what he's doing. He had 29 points up to that point and didn't score at all to the rest of the game. And then went to overtime.
Yep.
The New York Knicks erased that lead with 0 fast break points. So it wasn't like they were fumbling and bumbling, like you said my word ain't down. Fumbling and bumbling.
bumbling.
It's not like they did that and it turned into fast break points, right? Brunson went on an 11-0 run by himself. When that run started, you had 3 timeouts, And then at the end of the run, you had 3 timeouts. Why aren't you using your timeouts? Why aren't you stopping the bleed? You know momentum is real in sports. Sometimes, and when momentum comes, it feels like everything the opponent is touching is turning to go, and we can't get nothing going. And that's when the coach got to be like, all right, let's regroup. Let's regroup. You said it yourself. They were attacking James Harden. We all saw it. Call timeout. Regroup. Come up with a different scheme. Take Harden out. Do what you got to do as a head coach to put your team in position to win this game because you had the game. And I agree with you. Once that game was over, it was a wrap because I said, man, game 2, they got to come out swinging. Game 2, the Knicks came out swinging. And then at halftime, I'm like, man, at halftime, they got to come out swinging. The Knicks came out swinging at halftime. Then you leave Josh Hart open. He's almost perfect from 3, and you continue with the game plan. So I'm going to, like I said, Spider got to be better. But here's what I'm going to say about Spider. And I agree with you about the number one thing. He reminds me of a lesser version of Damian Lillard, right? Damian Lillard is really good, but he's not going to be the number 1 guy on the championship team. He got to be like the number 2. Donovan Mitchell get his buckets the harder way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brunson could create separate. Like Brunson is way more. He is not as skilled as like your SGAs, your Brunsons, all right, your Lucas, right? Like you look at these best players. If you put them on the Cavs, I could see them getting the Cavs over the hump. If you swap Donovan Mitchell and Brunson, this would be a more competitive series, in my opinion, because Brunson has the ability to create separation and get a bucket. Donovan Mitchell bucket, it just looked tough. Like, I'm sorry to explain, but it just looked tough to get. So if his 3-point shot is not on, he's really not going to have a great game, kind of, right? So I'm going to say the Knicks because the way they're winning these games, they're not heavily dependent on Brunson like we have seen in the past. And Cat is not a top scorer, but he's being more involved. What they doing this series is putting a stamp on the last 2 series. It's like, okay, you beat the Hawks. What-de-do? You beat Philly. What-de-do? What you going to do with the Cavs? You about to sweep the Cavs too? Dang. It's like, okay, it's kind of like the Cavs getting swept, Harden being bad, not surprised. So that's why I'm going to go with the Knicks. That's why it says more about them.
See, I think the first part of everything you just said proves my point to be exact. It proves my point to be exact. You just mentioned it, right? You talked about coaching, right? You talked about how James Harden was targeted every possession down. Again, goes back to coaching. Coach, call a timeout. What are we doing? Let's reboot. Let's regroup. It goes back to the players on the floor. Why are we giving up the switch every time they want it? Okay. You know the look that they're trying to get. You know what Brunson is trying to do. He scored 5 straight points, 6 straight points. We see the lead dwindling, and the players consistently just giving up the switch nonstop, allowing James Harden to get torched, to just get absolutely torched. Nobody on that team said, nah, I want this matchup. Harden is struggling. I'm going to take him, and I'm going to make his job difficult. No one did that. And again, coach didn't call a timeout. So, yeah, of course, at that point, of course, Brunson's going to eat. Of course, Brunson's going to get buckets. That's what Brunson does. That's why I say it's more about the Cavs, because we know what the Knicks are, and we know what Brunson's going to do. But the Cavs had opportunities to make adjustments and make things harder. They flat out didn't. You bring up game 2. Josh Hart getting wide open trades, but he wasn't the only one getting wide open trades out there. OG Anunoby was getting wide open trades out there. Mikal Bridges was getting wide open trades. Like everybody was open. So again, of course, you give it. Listen, I believe, and this may sound crazy to some, you give Draymond Green 10 wide open threes that he attempts. He probably gonna make at least 3. Probably gonna make at least 3 of them, right? So a guy like Josh Hart, yeah, you give him wide open looks. Yeah, he gonna make some of them. And at first he was missing, so the strategy was working, but then he got hot. He can still shoot the break. He's still an NBA player. He can still shoot. So now he's got his rhythm. And like you said, they don't change the strategy. They continue to leave him wide open. Again, of course he's going to make those shots, right? So that's why I say, again, this tells me a lot more about the Cavs. I expected the Cavs to have more heart. I expected them to make adjustments. I expected them to be up for the moment, up for the challenge, not look so complacent. Not look so lackadaisical, not look so, oh, well, we lost. We heard Donovan Mitchell the other night after game 3. just flat out say, well, what could have changed? Well, I forgot the question that they asked him, what are your thoughts after being down 3 or something like that? What did you learn? They asked him, what did he learn? And he said, well, I learned you can't give up a 22-point lead in game 1. It completely changes the trajectory of the series.
Still holding on to that.
Yeah, duh. I mean, yeah. But again, that also brings me to this thought. Game 1 was multiple nights ago. You just played game 3. Why are you talking about game 1?
Nice.
It goes to show that they stole your heart in game 1. They stole y'all. Y'all were the fresher team. Y'all were the more tired, but y'all was more fresh. The Knicks came out looking slow, looking rusty. They were fresh off of game 7, which is why they got out to the league that they did. And then the Knicks slowly walked them guys down, and they flat out choked. The coaching staff, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, they flat out froze. And so that's why I say it'd be one thing if this series was 2-1 or if this series was 2-2, right? Or if it was 3-0, but the games were like nip and tuck. But after game 1, man, the Knicks have been doing whatever they want to do out there, which is why I say, yeah, it's to me, it's more about the now. I'm gonna get to the Knicks. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the Knicks. But for this series, this specific moment, this specific topic, I'm more so looking at the Cavs like, yo, y'all serious? Than I am the Knicks. Like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. That's how I feel about it.
That's a great point. I do want to respond to him. We're going to shout out to you for being here. We're going to get to that in a second. So just stay tuned. We're going to get to that topic. But AJ, you know what I mean? It makes sense. So basically, you're basically saying like the Cavs more so leaving meat on the bone.
Yes, a ton.
You know, like this could be a much more close series, but the Cavs are making mistakes. It's not like they are playing their best and the Knicks are just better. Exactly. I'm with you on that. That makes sense. Okay. And last thing on the Josh Hart thing, not only he got hot, he's at home.
Yeah.
That helps. Every 3 he shoots, it feels like 3 threes.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah,
indeed.
but I know you want to talk about the New York Knicks. You picked them before the season to win the East, and it's looking like you're about to be right, my guy. But we got to talk about the NBA Finals for them because we got 2 dogs in the West, OKC Thunder and the Spurs. They are battling right now, looking to see who's going to play the Knicks because I'm pretty sure you don't think, and I know I don't think, the Cavs will make an 0-3 comeback. All right? LeBron ain't over there. And LeBron haven't even done that in his history, right?
Right.
Now, AJ, what percentage do you give the New York Knicks that like their chances to win the NBA Finals?
So full disclosure. I texted Joe this question yesterday. And at the time I texted him this question, I was like, I already got an answer in mind. I'm going with about 40%. I'm giving them a 40% chance to win the NBA Finals. Then as the day went on, I said, man, I think I'm about at a 45. The more I thought about it, I'm like, man, I'm at like a 45%, right? Then right before tip-off for the OKC and San Antonio Spurs game, I was at a 50%. I kept thinking about it, so I'm like, man, I'm at 50%. The way I feel about the New York Knicks right now, the way they playing. But then I watched the game last night, and it brought me back down to like 45. Brought me back down to so it brought me right back down to the middle right there in the 45. But I want to say this about the New York Knicks. I've heard multiple people come out and say this, right? And I have a similar thought. The winner of the Western Conference Finals will win the NBA championship. I already picked the Spurs to win the championship. I'm not going to come off that stance. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. But I picked them before the playoffs started. I'm going to stick with that, which is why as much as I want to give the Knicks a 50% chance, because I'm like, as a fan, I'd rather have the Knicks winning. Just as from a rooting standpoint, I think that's fun. I think that's more fun than OKC repeating. I think that's more fun, in my opinion, than we be dominating right now. I'd rather see the Knicks come in and get a win, right? But at the end of the day, the way I look at the New York Knicks right now in this situation, I think they're a team that you cannot write off, which is why you have to go as high, in my opinion, of a 45%. You look right now, let's talk about the other teams right now. You look at the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have a squad. We're going to talk about them shortly, but we know what they have at their disposal. We know what they are defensively. We know what they are offensively. I love the matchup with the New York Knicks, however, because the New York Knicks have a player in Karl Anthony Towns that can get Wemby away from that basket. which could be huge. You can go with a smaller lineup, put OG at the 4, have Cat at the 5, and bring Wemby outside and shoot from the outside, giving lanes to guys like Mikal Bridges, to guys like Brunson, so that Wemby's not down there swatting, clogging up the paint. Because we know when he's in the paint, you can't get nothing off, right? But he's got to come out there and guard Cat because Cat will fry you from the outside. Now, on the other side of the ball, I like the fact that they have lengthy defenders, you know, to deal with Castle, to deal with Harper, to deal with De'Aaron Fox and things of that nature. I like how close that series can be nip and tuck. When I look at the Oklahoma City Thunder got a lot of injuries right now that people need to be paying attention to. AJ Mitchell, right? He's dealing with an injury right now, right? Obviously, Jay Williams, he's dealing with an injury right now. They don't quite look the same without those two players out there. They're still a very talented team. They're still great defensively. They still can put the ball in the hole offensively. But without those two players being out there and being 100%, I think they are extremely vulnerable right now to not only lose in the finals, but to lose to the San Antonio Spurs. Now, when I get back to the New York Knicks, the Knicks are playing with so much. The Knicks ain't lost a game since April 23rd. That's the last loss. I think that was game 3 of the first round against the Hawks. They have not lost a game since. Now, we could talk about the opponents. We could talk about how, you know, we might not have believed in the Sixers like that, you know, even though me and you kind of did, because me and you, you know, felt like, you know, you said they were a sleeper team, and I felt the same way, right, about the Sixers, right? So we can say that. Some people can say that, but at the end of the day, they swept the Sixers. They ain't just beat the Sixers. They dominated and got the Sixers up out of there. Then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are on the verge, I believe, of sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers. So again, they haven't lost a game since April 23rd, and they're getting contributions from everybody. OG playing well. Josh Hart hitting shots from the outside. We already know what Brunson is. Karl-Anthony Towns facilitating. They are playing at a high level defensively. They are making adjustments mid-game, mid-series. Like, they are playing a high-level basketball. They are hungry. And so the way I look at it is, I don't know which matchup, if you're a Knicks fan, you're hoping for. But I think either matchup you get, you got a solid chance. Now, would I pick you? I don't know. It just kind of depends on what we're looking at. Are we looking at OKC, a healthy OKC squad? I don't know. Are we looking at, you know, the Spurs? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think the Knicks have a true puncher's chance. Actually, 45% chance is higher than the puncher's chance. So I think they have a very good chance at winning the NBA Finals. And as much as most of us want to say whoever wins the Western Conference Finals will win the championship, I'm telling y'all now, do not sleep on the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson in the NBA Finals with an opportunity to maybe become the greatest Knick of all time. Do not sleep on this, because I think the New York Knicks are right there with anybody that they compete against.
Okay.
So 45%.
Okay. I'm going to raise you. I'm going to go 47%.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So the reason why I'm saying 47% because this basketball, it's an NBA Finals. I remember going to the Indiana Pacers series, and I'm like,
I was just about to say that.
Okay, they gonna win.
Not only win. I thought they was gonna wipe the floor with.
Yes,
I thought they was gonna wipe the floor with the Pacers.
I remember saying they played the NBA Finals against Denver. I mean, I said that against Denver. That was the NBA Finals.
Yep.
And then they passed Minnesota. I'm like, it's a wrap. They went to Game 7, and it was a close game with Halliburton going down in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the NBA Finals. You never know what can happen when a team is playing well, like New York. And Indiana was a similar way. Like they weren't blowing everybody out. They weren't like on the street New York is right now. But Indiana played, you can arguably say, better competition based on where they were, because they played Cleveland, who was the best team in the East. Then they played New York, they weren't favored against them. New York at least were favored in each of these games. And Indiana beat all these teams. You know, and without going to a Game 7, by the way, they beat Cleveland in 5, and I'm not mistaken, and they beat New York in 6. Mm-hmm. So that's that, and they beat Giannis the first round, although Giannis got hurt. So my thing is, New York is playing well. Number one, you said it. New York is going to have, New York is going to be healthier. They're going to have probably, somebody said in the comments, like a week and a half of rest, basically, because these teams are beating each other up, Spurs and OKC. Spurs are hurt, but they players are still playing. Like De'Aaron Foster dealing with a high ankle sprain, and Dylan Harper is hurt also, but he's also playing through his injury. But you got guys like J-Dub who's not playing, and you got AJ Mitchell who's not playing, and those are your top two second scorers on your team. So, but I give them 48% because I still think they would not win. I still think the West would win. Now, if I had to pick, if I'm New York, who I would rather play in this series, it's gonna sound crazy. I think it's the Spurs. You know why? Because, all right, the Spurs, you got to worry about Wemby, obviously, on both sides of the floor. One thing Wemby lacks right now is consistent aggression. So Wemby comes out some games aggressive early, and then he disappears. Like he kind of like I remember watching game 3. I'm like, dang, Wemby playing? I didn't even feel him playing. Which you never feel that way, right? And then when he finally get the ball, you're like, dang, I forgot he was out there. It didn't even feel like it. Stephon Castle was taking a lot of shots. You know, De'Aaron Fox is handling the ball a lot. Dylan Harper, right? You got all these other guys, Devin Vassell taking a lot of shots. So, and then that's the one thing that Wemby and the Spurs have to realize, like Wemby has to touch the ball a lot. Because you watch OKC, although SGA is getting double every play, he's touching the ball a lot because he's your best decision maker. He's your best player. You want the ball to run through him. So, and another reason why I would rather play the Spurs because OKC is just more battle tested. They're more battle tested. They are NBA champions. I think OKC match up better with the Knicks than do with the Spurs. Like the Spurs don't have a Wemby, so Chet will be more valuable in a series against the Knicks. You know, I feel like the Spurs ball defenders. You can say they got more ball defenders that can attack SGA than the Knicks. I know you got OG. That's one guy. Mikal Bridges. Sorry, man, you're too frail. You're too frail, my boy. You're just too frail. But outside of that, they don't really have like the Spurs got like don't sleep on guys like Vassell, who's very physical on them. Don't sleep on guys like Champagnie, who's very physical with SGA. Them guys are grabbing SGA, being physical with them. So I think they got a rotation of guards, I would say, guards that can play SGA. So, and then having Wemby defensively just changes the whole game. They don't have a Wemby in New York. So SGA will have a much more efficient series against the Knicks than he will with than he gets right now with the Spurs. But I am gonna give him a 48% chance because I still think that the Knicks have they have a superstar, which is Jalen Brunson. They have a well coached with Mike Brown, and they have a really good team. You look at their team from start to finish. They starting 5 can compete with OKC. They starting 5 can compete with the Spurs. They really got a nice. They arguably have the best starting 5 in the rest of the playoffs. I know we said Philly, but you know Embiid in and out, all that stuff. But the Knicks got the chemistry. You know what I mean? So I would give them a 48%, 47% chance to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I think personally, if I'm a Knicks fan, the more I think about it, the more I would want to play OKC. I don't want to play OKC right now. And the reason why I would want to play OKC is because it's going to sound like a cop-out, but it's because of the injuries. It's mainly because of the injuries. Like, no J-Dub, and if he's back, he's kind of in and out of the lineup. We saw him come back for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, game going to double overtime, and we ain't seen him since. He like, all right, bro, I wasn't expecting to do all that. We ain't seen him since. And then you got AJ Mitchell right now, who's out of the lineup as well. And so you look at that team again, like, they have wing defenders. In my opinion, I got a little bit more respect for McKinnon. You do regarding SGA. I'm not saying anybody can necessarily stop SGA, but they got multiple different guys they can throw SGA's way, even though maybe a Josh Harden there here and there. They got multiple guys they can throw his way as far as being physical with him, as far as making it. I know what you say. I know how you feel. It's SGA. I get it. But at the end of the day, the more bodies you could throw at him, the more different looks you could throw at him, the better. And the other guys for OKC, and I don't want to get too deep into this. We're about to talk about them in a second, but the other guys for OKC can be really hit or miss without SGA facilitating AJ Mitchell or J-Dub out there making it a little easier. We haven't seen Chet step up and be that guy yet in this series. And I know it will be a better matchup against the Knicks for sure. And I know you're not dealing with Wemby. I get all of that. I get all of that. But at the same time, like, liking what I'm seeing from Chet. I'm just not. Chet looking like he not ready for the moment, and I don't want to say that because he is a champion, so I don't want to say he's not clutch or anything like that. But it just seemed like maybe it's the matchup with Wemby. I don't know, but he giving me the vibes. If you get physical with him, you get in his chest, you can make things really tough for him offensively. And so, if I'm the Knicks, man, listen. If I'm the Knicks, I'm feeling confident against anybody the way that they're playing right now. I'm feeling like we can win a series no matter who we play at the current moment. But if I'm looking for a specific matchup, I'm not trying to deal with Wemby. I'm not trying to deal with Wemby. I'm not trying to deal with Dylan Harper. I'm not trying to deal with De'Aaron Fox. I'm not trying to deal with Castle because all of those dudes, you got to worry about checking Brunson. And if you can find a way to get Brunson out of the game, if they give an SGA problems, you don't think they give Brunson some issues out there defensively? Like that. I think that will ultimately be a problem for Brunson too. So, I mean, and I get it. OKC got to finish too. They got SGA. They got Caruso. They got some guys too, not to insult their defense. They're a great defensive team as well. But not only does the Spurs have those wing defenders, but if you just so happen to get past them, you got Wemby down there waiting on you, unless Cat is able to space them out a little bit. So I'd rather play OKC. That's just me. It sounds crazy because they are the defending champs. They do have championship pedigree, and we have seen heart from them all throughout this series against the Spurs. But I wouldn't want to mess with Wemby, bro. I wouldn't want to mess with Wemby. And this is the thing too. Wemby, it will be his first finals appearance, but this is his first playoff appearance, or his first playoff appearance, and he looked incredible out there. He is kind of, the aggression is kind of hit or miss. We get all of that. But when they need a moment from him, when they need a game from him, what is it, 39, 8, and 14? What you try, like 39 and 20 in game one or something like that? 41 and 20 in game one. Like last night, he just hit a half court Steph Curry at the half. I'm sorry, bro.
He different.
I'm not trying to. I think at this point right now, it may sound disrespectful, but Wemby more of a headache than SGA, bro. He's just more of a headache than SGA. Like you
see the you think the Spurs going double Brunson every play though, like they are SGA? I don't think they are.
I don't think they are. But see, they haven't. This past game, they didn't double SGA as much.
They didn't double him. They
made him a little more. They did, but I do
feel like they didn't blitz him, but they bracket him like he had. They try to get the ball out of his hands, and then you got Wemby. So I'm saying the Knicks don't have a Wemby, bro. So like that's the big difference with this series. You got the defensive player of the year playing safety. So like it's not just SGA when you dump it off, and these drivers they are running through the basket because Wemby's right there. So like see these high floaters, Hartstein got to shoot.
Yeah, right. He hit the mugs too.
So I know we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but I get you. But either way, Spurs, OKC,
it's gonna be tough.
I just think the Knicks gonna lose, but I'm gonna give them a shot because. They've been thirsting for this finals, and the Knicks are a more experienced team than the Spurs. So I will say that. So that's why experience comes and the Knicks been very clutch. They've been very clutch this playoffs. So all that will factor in. OKC is a clutch team too. Yeah. Like I don't want us to judge OKC off of game 4 because they didn't have AJ game 3 either, and look how they look. So we can't just say, man, without AJ, man, look. I get it. The Spurs were home. They were desperate. They were down 2-1. They didn't want to go down 3-1. So we saw that happen. And also, the head coach for the OKC Thunder is really good at adjustments. So we're gonna talk about it. But I like Mitch Johnson too. He's doing good too. But sorry, the Knicks. I'm not gonna say y'all getting done with, but I will pick y'all to lose the NBA Finals. But I might pick 7. Might pick 6. Might give you a puncher's chance, like my boy Cool Bree said.
Yeah, I think ultimately for me it's gonna depend on the matchup. Y'all mess around and see OKC and I look up game 1 and they say, yeah, J-Dub out. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead stamp it. I might have to go ahead and stamp it.
Hey J-Dub, go ahead and rest our hands for you next year. We good.
Oh, it's crazy. We gonna see. Speaking of them, man, we've been lining this topic up all day. We've been hitting at it all day. The time has finally come to talk about this OKC in Spurs series. Now, for those who don't know, Joe Jordan, he the Thunder guy. You know, he say God. That's his guy. You know what I mean? That's his guy. SGA MVP. That's my boy.
Two-time.
Joe Jordan. Two-time MVP.
Don't get it 2 times.
Two times. Right. That's my boy guy. Right. And as for me, I can't necessarily say I'm the Spurs guy because I'm not the Spurs guy. But what I will say is I picked the Spurs to go to the NBA Finals and win the championship. So this has lined up perfectly. We kind of talked about this right before everything started, right? Who will win this series if it matched up? And we finally got the matchup that we wanted. We got the Spurs, we got the Thunder, and we got it tied at 2-2. First, right, to 2 wins now, wins this series, 2 games at OKC, 1 game in San Antonio. Gotta ask you, JJ, Joe Jordan, taking it from here, given everything we've seen, who wins this series, OKC or San Antonio?
I'm picking the team I picked last year to win this year, and that's OKC Thunder.
Okay.
But I want to, I want to see something real quick with this. Being a fan of unethical hoops is crazy. I promise you won't get I promise you won't see an edit of all the grabbing of SGA though. I bet you won't get that edit. All the fouling they get on SGA when he never complained. By the way, like he gets fouled more than probably Wemby. Go just watch the game. He gets grabbed every single play. He gets pulled every single play, and he never complains. But when he falls, like what everybody else does, you see Wemby flop when John McCain went into him. Like, come on, bro, you Wemby. You see Wemby flop when SGA gave him a body and he did all this. Everybody flops. It's just that if you don't flop, sometimes you won't get the call. And that look at Stephon Castle. He flops every single time he shoots a jump shot, but nobody talks about it. Stop following the narrative, watch the game, and make your own opinion versus using other people's opinion. That's what people do. They see something on the internet, they hear somebody say something, they just run with it instead of watching yourself. I had a last thing to say about this. Somebody said, man, it should be flopping. I said, watch game 4. This is before game 4 came on. Watch game 4 and have that same flop mentality when you watch the Spurs. Bro called me afterwards and was like, bro, you're right. Like, they be flopping too. Everybody flops. I'm sorry. It's part of the game. Anyways, back to what I was saying. OKC, man. I got OKC winning this. It's all about adjustments. Game 1, Wemby just came out and did his thing. Mm-hmm. I shout out to Wemby. He came out and did his thing. I feel like J-Dub stepped on SGA toes in the fourth quarter in overtime. Like that when Wemby pulled that 3 to tie, J-Dub took a terrible shot when he should have gave it to SGA and let your best player make a decision. Who's been taking you home in clutch game? He's a clutch player of the year, and he's been taking you home every game. And you just got here and you're trying to save the day. So, but Wemby did his thing. Game 2, adjustments happened. SGA was more aggressive with the double team because game 1, SGA, they double, he got off the ball and is like left alone. Game 2, he gets off the ball, gets back on the ball, and they win the game. Game 3, they go in San Antonio. They expect San Antonio to come out hot. They did. Start off 15-0. But then the other stepped up, guys like John McCain, guys like Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, but Jalen Williams, guys Caruso being Caruso the whole series of last game. They stepped up. They kept doubling Shea. Shea gets back on the ball, tips it off, 3-3-3. SJ also got his buckets too. He had 0 free throws in the first half. I think he had 11 in the second half, something like that, right? I said John McCain, Jerry McCain.
Yeah.
John McCain is like a former President Kennedy.
right. Oh my God. I know who you meant. I
remember his brother called in traffic and called the police in traffic. That messed up his whole race.
Right.
So that's that. Game 4. Shout out to the Spurs. Like you said, they didn't double them every play, but they bracket them and they stay home with the shooters. They kind of stay home with the shooters, and they said, you don't got J-Dub, you don't got AJ Mitchell, Jerry McCain, we don't believe you a great ball handler. So let's see if you can get this bucket one-on-one. We're not going to help or nothing, all right? Like, that's what they did. They, Case and Wallace, we don't believe you a great ball handler. Let's see if you can get this bucket on one-on-one. So that's what they did this game. So, and SGA had his worst game, you can say, the series. But although SGA scoring is not to the par where you expect him to be, he's scoring 24.8 points per game, shooting 39%. That's not who he is. But I am surprised. I am very what's the one I'm looking for? I'm very not
Optimistic or
I'm very not surprised, but I'm very impressed.
okay.
I'm very impressed of the amount of times he's getting double team. AJ, he's averaging 10 assists a game, 2.8 turnovers a game, bro. Like the amount of times he's getting double team every game, that's incredible. Wemby is averaging more turnovers than him, and Wemby don't get double every play, by the way. All right, so I think the Thunder will win this game. I think adjustments will happen going to Game 5. They will be back home. I got Thunder winning Game 5, and I probably have Thunder winning Game 6 for real. But I'm gonna wait to see how Game 5 goes. But the problem with the Spurs is I don't think Wemby's gonna come out with the same aggression he had in Game 5. I think he's gonna come out and he's gonna have a Game 3 or Game 2 type game, in my opinion. So give me OKC. They're a more experienced team also. So as a series weighs in, the experience kicks in. So I like Caruso, all them guys going to step up. I feel like they're going to shoot better. They're going to be better defensively, force more turnovers. Down the stretch, the experience going to kick in more, like I said. And I think SGA will still step up points per game wise. So give me the MVP, 2-time MVP, and give me the soon-to-be 2-time champions to beat the Spurs in this series.
Yeah, I got the Spurs winning this series. Before the series, I said the Spurs are going to win this series in 6 games. And I'm not ready to come off that stance. I'm not ready to come up off that stance. Listen, what I've seen in this series, you said it best. In Game 1, Wemby just went Wemby on you. Like it was nothing you could do. It was a very close game, very nip and tuck. The best game, I believe, of the entire playoffs was Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Wemby goes Wemby, right? You win Game 1. I thought Game 2, SGA came out aggressive. He got to his spots on the floor. He made plays for himself. He made plays for others. I thought in Game 3, OKC played well again, and I thought that the Spurs game plan, like you said, we're gonna trap, SGA. We're gonna smother him a little bit. We're gonna make other guys beat you, and then all of a sudden, dang, Jay Williams hit a shot. Dang, he hit another shot. And he hit another shot. Dang, McCain hit a shot and another shot. And another shot. It's like, oh man, okay, so they gonna hoop like this on the road. Like we not accustomed to seeing this on the road from role players, right? They gonna hoop like this on the road. Okay, like you said, Game 4, we're gonna make another adjustment. You call it bracketing SGA, and if that's what you saw, that's what you saw. For me, I felt like they played SGA honest for most of the game. I feel like they said, "Hey, Castle, that's your man tonight. Hey, Vassell, you take him on this possession. Hey, Dylan, you take him on this possession." And like you said, we're gonna stay home on the rest of these guys because, like you said, no J-Dub, no Mitchell, no AJ Mitchell. We don't believe any of you guys can do anything. And this is exactly what I said the Lakers should have done as well. It is the Jokic effect. You say, listen, Jokic is gonna get his. Let Jokic get his. We can't let these other guys, especially on the road, we can't let these other guys get going. We know star players win you games at home. So we're going to let him do his thing. We're going to shut down the water of all these other guys, though, and make it tough. Next to Jay Williams, he's shooting 1 from 7, from the field. McCain shooting 1 of 10 from the field. They shot the ball abysmally last game, and I thought it's because the Spurs got in their chest all game long. And when you needed to bracket or when you needed to trap SGA, when you needed to send another body, you did. But for the most part, we're going to stay home on everybody else. And if SGA come out here and cook us, he going to cook us. The difference between the Spurs and the Lakers, though, is when you say, all right, we're going to let SGA cook and we're going to let SGA do his thing and we're going to make the others beat us, right? You're literally saying that. Because SGA is going to cook you. That's just what it's going to be. He's going to cook you because you have literally nobody out there that can do anything with SGA. But in the case of the Spurs, that's not guaranteed. Newsflash. Castle giving that man problems. I'm going to say it. Yeah, he getting doubled here and there. He getting bracketed. But man-to-man, one-on-one, I'm seeing Castle get down, getting that defensive stance, slot them puppies, as they say, and get that man in trouble. I'm seeing him getting hands up on the contest. I'm seeing him make SGA make it hard for him to get to his spots on the floor, making it hard for him to make shots. I see when he get into the paint, Wemby down there waiting on him to make it things tough. SGA, you said it best. Game 1, or I'm sorry, yes. Game 1, 7 of 23 from the field. Game 2, he shot the ball better, even though he shot the ball rough in the fourth. Almost gave that game away in the fourth, but shot the ball 12 of 24 for the entire game. Next game, 6 of 20, 6 of 17. Last night, the night before, 6 of 15. That is not SGA. SGA is typically more efficient than this shooting the basketball, but he hasn't been because those guys been in his chest. And then what does he do? He likes to rely on, okay, if the mid-range shot ain't falling, I just take it inside, get to my layup, right? Get to the free throw line, whatever the case may be. But then you got Wemby down there. So you can't just take it down there and get easy layups and easy dunks. So the way I'm looking at this series right now, I believe they have a clear answer for SGA. We're going to play you honest. Every now and then we're going to give you a different look because you are the 2-time MVP. So every now and then we're going to give you a different look. We might throw another body at you. But for the most part, Stephon Castle, that's your guy. We're gonna make you defend him, right? Harper here and there, we're gonna allow you to defend him as well, and we're gonna take it from there. And if they do not get a healthy J-Dub, forget AJ Mitchell, because he ain't playing well this series either. He ain't playing the Lakers. this ain't my Lakers. Yeah, this ain't my Lakers he playing right now. You know what I mean? If they don't get a healthy J-Dub coming back, playing to the level that we know he can play to, OKC in trouble, mark my words. The rest of these games, I'm sure they're going to be close. I'm sure SGA is going to find a way to get his, especially at the crib. But the way Wemby playing right now and the way they are playing defensively against this team, oh, please. I like the Spurs. And the last thing I'll say is this. OKC's defense is special as well. But I'm also seeing the Spurs get to kind of what they want as well. Castle, the turnovers have been an issue for him in this series. Thank God De'Aaron Fox is back. But like you said, De'Aaron Fox is dealing with his own injury. So is Harper. And so they have been hampered with injuries as well. To me, clearly Fox is not quite 100%. That's obvious, but he's out there. And he's able to take care of the ball a little bit better, which makes things easier for everyone else. So I think their offense continues to flourish as well. And the moment Champagne can get a shot to fall, the moment he can get a shot to fall, that also changes the trajectory of the rest of this series. And so, yeah, I got the Spurs, and I'm still doubling down on them winning this series in 6 games. I think they go still in the OKC. I think they finish it off in San Antonio.
This is awesome. All right, so I wish we can watch the game together, but you go back and watch game 4. Every time SGA got the ball, there's a helper right there waiting for him on both ankles. There's no Allen out there.
On both what?
On both sides.
Oh, both sides.
When SGA get the ball, there's help defense every single time, which they're bracketing him. Okay. So like, there's no Castle ain't on island with SGA. He might be on the island when he bringing the ball up, but once he plays half court, there's help defense right there. So I got it though. This is why he's a 2-time MVP. I mean, he did say I got the answer to all the tests. You know, you gave him the answer to the test. Adjustment coming soon. Game 5, I can't wait, man. You made me more excited about game 5 now. I can't wait till Tuesday. And I'm trying to think. Tuesday is going to be game 5. Thursday going to be game 6. We might as well do the show Friday because it might not be a game 7. We might see OKC against the Knicks. I mean, I'm just saying. Might go wait till Friday to do on phase. You know what I mean? So,
like I said, you better hope J-Dub is back. Because if you're SGA, all right, you know the answers to the test. What's your adjustment?
I don't think they need J-Dub.
I think they need. I said it before this series started. I'm saying it. They're going to need J-Dub, and they're going to need him to play well in order to loosen up the defensive intensity from the Spurs and make SGA's job a little easier. Because if what you're saying is 100% true, they need somebody to alleviate that pressure for him. And I think from time to time, you might be able to get it from Caruso. From time to time, you might be able to, like in this case, You only got to win 2 more games. You might get a game where Lou Dort go crazy, or a game where and he make a bunch of shots from the outside. Another game where Alex Caruso go crazy. You might get Isaiah Joe. You might get one of these guys to go crazy for another 2 games. But for me, I got to see it. The OKC team that won the finals and went to the championship last year. Yes, you had Isaiah Joe. Yes, you had Lou Dort. Yes, you had Chet. But most importantly, you had a 2-headed monster that you had to deal with. You got to deal with SGA, and you're going to have to deal with J-Dub. If SGA ain't got it going, J-Dub got it going. And if J-Dub ain't got it going, SGA got it going. And the most important thing is this. When SGA don't have it going, you took SGA off the ball. You allow SGA to get to that mid-range, face up, and look and see what the defense is going to do. He had more time to get to his go-to spots. He had more time to rise up and shoot, more time to make a play for others. But now, what other ball handler do you trust to be a threat? Yes, Alex Caruso can bring the ball up. Some of these guys can bring the ball up, but they're not the threat that Jalen Williams is. Jalen Williams can bring the ball up and get to a bucket. So you got to pay attention to him in ways that you're not necessarily paying attention to a guy like Alex Caruso or whoever else may bring the ball up. And so now, without him out there, I believe more of the pressure and the weight falls on SGA, and it's going to work against most teams. It may work. It may work against the Knicks, but against this team with Wemby down there, with Castle, with De'Aaron, with Dylan Harper, defenders on the front end and the back end. Oh man, it's a headache. It's a headache. So yeah, I not only like the Spurs, I love the Spurs to win this series.
I think Game 4 is. I think you're overrating Game 4. First of all,
my bad. Go ahead.
First of all, in Game 4, OKC, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. They played good defense. Played good defense every series. OKC made 2 threes going into the fourth quarter, the whole game.
Yeah.
So and it's not like they were missing. Like for example, they were missing. Every 3 was a contest. They were missing wide open 3s. J-Dub missed like 3 wide. J-Dub. Jalen missed like 3 wide open 3s. John McCain. You talking about making a shot? Game 4. John McCain was missing great looks. Yeah. So do we expect that to continue to happen? Also, J-Dub, do you know the OKC Thunder are 2-1 in the series without J-Dub? Yeah. They are 0-1 with J-Dub. So true. They got this far without J-Dub. They have I get you. Last year is last year. Last year was an unexperienced team. A team that went Game 7 with the Denver Nuggets and Game 7 with the Indiana Pacers. So this Spurs team is much better than the Indiana team. This OKC team is much better than last OKC team because of the experience, because of the poise. And the Spurs, they are home. They were playing desperate. They had a 20-point win. And now we look at it like, okay, see, they going to need J-Dub. Did we say that after Game 3? Did we say after the game? I got the Game 2. And I know you might go back to the adjustment thing, but we're going to see.
I feel people are looking too deeply into Game 3. Spurs get out to Spurs get out to a 15-point lead in Game 3, right? Because this is how I see it. Again, Game 1 was Game 1. Jalen Williams, J-Dub played and they lost. Wemby went nuclear out there, but J-Dub played extremely well.
SGA wasn't as aggressive. Game 1.
What was that?
SGA wasn't as. I feel like he got off the double team, he got off the ball, and that was it. Like he wasn't. Too aggressive.
He shot. If you might be right about moments, but in Game 1 he shot 23 shots. He just went 7 of 23. Game 2 he was a little bit more aggressive to the natural eye, but he only shot one more shot on the game. He shot 24 shots.
How many assists he had Game 2?
I'd have to pull that up.
I'm
sure he had more in Game 1, I believe, than Game 2 though. Oh, yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Because when he got double, he get off the ball. In Game 2, he got double. He gets off the ball and gets back on the ball and creates something. Might be a hockey says, I don't know, but to the eye, it seemed like he was more aggressive towards the double team.
I'm about to pull it up right now before I get to my last point. He had 9 assists in Game 2.
Okay.
He had 9 assists in Game 2, and then in Game 1.
I got you on Game 1.
My bad, audience. Bear with me. In Game 1, he had
12.
He had 12 in Game 1. So, the way I'm looking at it is this. Like I said, Game 1, J-Dub played, right? First game back from injury. I thought he played well. I thought J-Dub played well. Yeah, he might have took some shots away from SGA, but SGA still was getting getting shots off. They were just contested. They were just really tough looks. And so, honestly, in my opinion, you could make the argument OKC probably should have won game one, but Wemby went crazy. It was nothing that you could really do with him on either side of the ball. I thought game two, similar to the Spurs, in game three or in game four, they had their back against the wall. And OKC had to be the hungry team. OKC had to be the team diving for every loose ball, playing with desperation, knowing that game two. After my bad. If I say game three, I meant to say game two. They had to be the team come out playing with desperation, diving for loose balls, because if they go down 0-2 at the crib, then the series is over. You're not winning that many games in a row. So they came out and played like that. Now, then you got, to me, the game was game. A big part of this series, and the reason why I feel like I'm trusting the Spurs more was game three. The Spurs came out playing Spurs basketball, got up to a 15-0 lead. OKC hawked them down, but it's not like OKC hawked them down by SGA playing out of his mind. They got hawked down because Jay Williams was out there hitting threes.
But how was he
McCain was out there hitting threes. SGA was creating. SGA was getting trapped in things like. But again, this is why I favor the Spurs, because you're not getting those looks anymore. The Spurs not gonna give you those. The Spurs, they gave you one game like that. We want y'all to beat us, and they did. Y'all got us. But now we got a plan for SGA, and not only do we have a plan for SGA, we got a plan for the rest of y'all too. Which is why I believe, again, to disrupt that, to make things easier on SGA, because SGA. Listen, SGA got to get loose. SGA got to have another 50% shooting type of game. He got to have another 30-point game. He got to get loose. But in order for him to get loose and get to where he wants to get and it be efficient in this specific series, I believe he's going to need his wingman and J-Dub to come back and alleviate some of that pressure. I truly, we could talk about how great the OKC Thunder was last year. OKC was great last year. I cannot say OKC is better this year than they were last year off sheer experience because you don't have J-Dub. OKC is great. They've gotten this far for the most part without J-Dub. But if J-Dub is as great as we think he is, and I think he's pretty dang good, I don't think you get to the finals without him. I'm stunned you get to the finals with J-Dub playing, I think it's one game all playoffs long. I just don't see that happening. So, like I said,
1-0-1, by the way, too.
So the one game he played, y'all lost.
So if they win, what that say about SGA?
I mean, we got to put SGA in some crazy conversations. I don't know if I'm ready to have it yet, but we already do. He's 2-time MVP, so we already got to put him in some conversations. Yeah. But like I said, in this specific series, I think he has a lot to deal with, and I think that the Spurs are a great team at weathering storms. I think they weathered the storm on OKC. They get a win, and at any point, Wemby could take this thing over and be that unstoppable force and get them and guide them to wins, in my opinion. Whereas SGA against this team, against these defenders, I don't think he could do it as easily. I think he struggles a little bit more to have the same effect he's had, let's just say in last year's playoffs, in this year's playoffs against this team without his guy that could take the pressure off. And so, like I said, man, I like the Spurs. But I do want to say this is what we was waiting on all year long.
We got a series.
We got the matchup that we was looking for all season long, man. Yeah. So I like what I'm seeing for sure.
And I want to say
the X factor. And my bad, last thing, the X factor. And I said this on my last soliloquy, and I'm gonna say this again. Watch out for Champagne. Because the moment he gets shots to fall and you can space that defense out more and give guys like Dylan Harper and Castle more room to rim run, it's going to be a problem. But he can't hit nothing. All his shots look flat. It look like he's shooting. It don't look like he got no touch on the ball right now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
every shot coming off his hand, it just look hard. It just like he's just throwing that mug at the rim. It's just like, bro, it come off his hands and it look off. Like, oh, he shot that way too hard. Like,
yeah,
so if defense, he can get going, he playing great defense. He playing great defense. But if he could get going, I think it's a problem.
Hey, look, this dude's clearly a SGA hater. Who you think should have been? Who you think should have won MVP this year? Let me know, please.
Oh, I do want to respond to that because yes, you said what you said in the beginning before we started all of this about SGA and the flops and everybody's flops and everybody this and everybody that. You've said this before. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. SGA, heavy is the head that wears the crown. More eyes are on SGA than anybody else outside him and Wemby. The eyes are on him and Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
So of course you're gonna see SGA flopping a lot more than you notice anyone else flopping. That's just the case. That's not just the internet saying that. When you watch the games, you're naturally, as a fan, you're gonna watch the stars. So when you see SGA on the island or SGA getting bracketed or SGA with the ball in his hands, you gonna look to see what kind of move he make and what he does to go out there and get a bucket or create for others. And so I do think more eyes are on him, and I do think he flops more than anyone. I do. I do. It is a part of the game. Listen, Kobe did flop. I've seen Kobe flop before. Brian used to, I thought he flopped a little bit more in his younger days, especially in those early Cleveland days. I felt like that kind of died down the second tender with Cleveland and with the Lakers. But Brian used to flop. Don't get me started on Rockets James Harden. Don't get me started on Rockets.
Jalen Brunson flopped a lot.
Jalen Brunson,
much criticism.
The best players on my team. Or the best player on my team, Luka Doncic, he flops like crazy, always. So like it does happen. It does happen. But SGA, I can understand how a fan watching him like, yo, come on, man. Like there's a play last night where I think it was De'Aaron Fox went up to contest a jump shot.
One player by pointing out,
and he did, and what's his name slid past him and he fell to the ground. It was kind of like, all right, bro. But that's on coaching too, though. You could challenge that.
Yeah, but also, did anybody bring up the guy you say he's strapping him? Stephon Castle grabbing him and the ball does go out of bounds. They ain't called foul. My thing
that
is,
was a tough one. That was a tough one.
As much as he get fouled all game, that don't complain. Y'all complain about the flops when your favorite player flops too, and you don't complain about that, but you complain about him not getting calls. They complain about the Lakers not getting calls, but the refs on the OKC Thunder side. SJ never complains. And then when they beat the Lakers, sorry, I gotta bring up a room, and the Lakers get more calls, then it's quiet. So go ahead.
My bad. I did want to respond to Javon's comment. Wemby don't be crying.
No, I don't think Wemby cry.
The rest of them might, but Wemby don't be crying for calls.
I agree. I don't think Wemby cry for calls either. But like I mean, Wemby's out there getting mauled. I'm like, bruh. Like he's a superstar. They all get fouled, bro. Yeah. I'm telling you, watch any superstar you watch in a physical series. Watch Steph Curry. Watch the Steph Curry clip, bro. Steph Curry gets grabbed every single play, and that's a treatment SGA is getting right now because they know, like, yo, if we knock him down, bro, the OKC is a wrap. They grab him every single play. Yeah. And not one time SGA be like, what's wrong? He will look at the ref like, all right, that's how we doing it? Okay, cool. And he'll just run back the other side of the court. And
SGA be looking like, I was telling my wife last night, I'm like, SGA be looking like he got an attitude on the court. He be looking irritated. Win, lose, or draw, he be just looking irritated out there. Like, man.
Look, this man is a hater. Oh my God.
What kind of name is SGA anyways?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, let's move on, man. Our last topic. So y'all probably know the All NBA team came out yesterday. And there's always that question, who got snubbed? I mean, we saw one dude feel like he got snubbed. I'm pretty sure you're gonna bring it up. But one guy went on his platform and said he got snubbed. But AJ, do you believe? Let me ask you that first, because maybe there are no snubs. Do you believe anybody got snubbed from the NBA? And if so, who are the people? Who's the biggest one?
Oh, man. This is a tough question for me as well, because I had to really go back and look. A lot of players just didn't make the eligibility list to make the All-NBA team. Like, Bron only played 60 games. Anthony Edwards played 61 games. Steph Curry only played 43. Obviously, Giannis only played 36. And so you can't really include Yes, I brought up Chet. I just against Wemby, I'm not trusting. I have to go back to the previous topic, but against Wemby, I'm not trusting Chet. Maybe he'll look better if they get past the Spurs and play the Knicks. But we'll see. But yeah, a lot of players aren't eligible, right, to make the list. When I go back to the first team, I think the player that sticks out the most, is Jaylen Brown. But it's tough for me, Joe. It's tough for me because, like, for that first team, who you taking off? Who can you take? No, we ain't taking Luka. We ain't taking Luka off. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah. Luka got to stay. Luka led the league in scoring. Luka was leading the Lakers. And listen, nobody would be saying that if Luka played in the playoffs. Nobody would, because we would have seen the special play from Luka in the playoffs. It hurts us that Luka didn't play in the playoffs. And so this stuff comes out now, and people got, revisionist history, people looking right now and just seeing, right, SGA doing his thing. They seen Jokic play, right? They seen K do his thing in the postseason, obviously Wemby, but you didn't really get to see Luka. And it's like we forgot what Luka was doing before the injury. Luka was putting up 40 a game for a whole month before the injury, and it hurts me because OKC might not even be here right now. And Luka was healthy. We go.
Oh my God.
Let that be what it is. We're gonna let that be what it is. We're gonna let that rest. We're gonna let that rest. You know what I mean? And get back to this. To answer the question directly, understanding that a lot of players were not eligible to make the list, I do not think that there were any snubs.
And that's all teams for first team.
For the first team. I think you can make an argument for third team when it comes to like Karl-Anthony Towns. I think you can make the argument. But I think that again, like 20 that's hindsight, because I would take out Jalen Duran, but it's like he had a great regular season. I probably don't say that during the regular season, given how he was playing. I say it now because he looked how he looked all postseason long, especially on the road. But back then, I mean, he was an all-star. He was putting up, I believe, 20 and 10, 28, somewhere 18, around there. 18, 18. So he had a great regular season. He had a career year. And so what hurts Jaylen Brown is, first off, you wasn't going to get the nod over SGA. You wasn't going to get the nod over Cade the way Cade played down the stretch. We already know Wemby is non-negotiable.
Well, Cade got hurt. Remember, he got hurt.
Oh yeah. But he came back a few games before the playoffs started. Though he came back the last week or two before the playoffs started. And he got off to a pretty solid. He had a pretty solid runway going into the playoffs. So he ended the season on a high note, right? Wemby's Wemby. We already know what that is. And Luka was playing at an unbelievable level before his injury and only missed, I believe, by one game. So I don't think you could put Jaylen Brown over any of those guys for first team, especially given the fact that it kind of hurts you that Jason Tatum came back. It hurts you a little bit that JT came back, and you still played well, but it wasn't quite the same because we was trying to get JT involved in the offense. So it's I feel like he was on the cuff, but if you ask me, like player for player, if you ask me who do you believe, SGA or Jaylen Brown, I'm gonna take SGA. And all of these players, given what we saw for the totality of the regular season, I would take those players. And I know I'm the guy who said Jaylen Brown was MVP at one point. I said Jaylen Brown was MVP at one point. But then after that, he gave me no case. They lost pivotal games, right? You got kicked out of the game. I believe it was against the Spurs, where you had a chance to go at Wemby. Got kicked out of that game. I think it was the Spurs, or it may have been OKC. It was one of those.
Spurs.
Yeah. Got kicked out of the game. So that was, that was tough, right? You had multiple opportunities to play big and you didn't. And then, like I said, Tatum came back and the focus kind of shifted a little bit. So, like I said, getting Tatum involved while the other guys continue to ascend. SGA continued to ascend. Victor Wembanyama, Wemby, there you go. Wemby continued to, ascend. Luka, post-injury, continued to ascend. Had his best month, maybe of his career before his injury, right? We saw what Cade, even though he went down with the lung thing, we saw what he did towards the end of the season, and they ended up with the number 1 seed in the conference. So it's like, I can't say that. But if there's anybody I would say that I think belongs on the list somewhere, I would probably try to make room for Cat somewhere. But outside of that, I don't really see no issues with it. I really don't see no issues with it, honestly.
All right, so let me address. I think there were 0 snubs on first, second, and third.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I went through the whole thing. I feel like this is the first time I looked at it. I'm like, dang, this is perfect. I think they all where they're supposed to be. Now, this is why, let me address it, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is a bigger news. Jaylen Brown is playing a victim. He came on and said on the stream, I already know I was going to be, I'm not surprised, not all NBA. People don't like what I say. People this, people that, people that, people that. He make it seem like he's not all NBA because they didn't want him to be all NBA. That's not true, bro. All right, let's stop it. Now, you might say the NBA, so the National Basketball Association don't rock with you, or these like Adidas and all these other places don't rock with you because what happened with the USA situation. But when it comes to the voters, the people in the NBA, they like Jaylen Brown. I remember in December, people were like, it's a two-way race for MVP between him and Cade. I'm like, y'all really forgot about SGA? Are we serious right now? In December, Jaylen Brown was averaging 31 points a game. So everybody was like, dang, like Jaylen Brown doing the thing. Woo. Since then, AJ, 29, 27, 26. Like you said, ever since you made a case for him, he's went down. Like I said, he averaged 31 in December, 29 in January, 27 in February, 26 in March. How you finish the season matters in any type of race, MVP race. Wemby took the lead at one point because of how he was finishing. And then SGA started hitting these clutch shots, started going crazy. He went perfect in the fourth quarter overtime. Like you said, everybody raised the game up. You got Cade, who led the Detroit Pistons. As much as you want to talk about Boston, he led Boston. He led the Detroit Pistons to the #1 seed. That says a lot. As bad as Jaden Durant, as bad as they look without K in the playoffs, you see how valuable this dude is.
Yeah.
So they were the #1 seed, K, and K was playing like an all-star. So he's there. You got to put K there. Are you really going to replace Jaylen Brown or change SGA with Jaylen Brown? No, you're not. No. SGA was an MVP, like you said. Then you got Luke. Then you got Jokic. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. Jokic is. If you're talking about just all the numbers, he's the MVP. If you're talking about the numbers, so he has to be first team MVP. He averaged a triple-double for goodness sake, right? Then you got Wemby. None of y'all putting them over Wemby because Wemby was a defensive player of the year, #1. And offensively, he had an MVP case. And then Luka. Luka's been a big name for everybody. Take Luka out. Take Luka out. Like my boy AJ said, how you finish matters. In December, Jaylen Brown, he was averaging 31 a game. Luka's also averaging 31. And then Jaylen Brown averaged 29. Luka went up to 34 in January. In February, they both averaged 27. But in March, right before the votes go in, Jaylen Brown had a month low, 26 points a game, while Luka averaged 37. While having a 60-point game in the midst of that. So, like, come on, y'all. Like, this, and he led the league in scoring. You telling me the leader in scoring
is second
not
team
going to be first team NBA?
Come on now.
He's the leader in scoring while being the third seed when he got hurt. And you're telling me he's not going to be first team on NBA, the leading scorer? That's got a home playoff game? Come on, y'all. Let's stop being biased because everybody loves JB. And then if the media hates JB, then he would have never won Finals MVP when Jason Tatum could have won it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all. Let's talk about it. If the media really hates Jaylen Brown, how did he win Finals MVP? AJ, if that was Tatum that would have collapsed a 3-1 lead like Jaylen Brown did, he would have got crushed. Did Jaylen Brown get crushed for that?
No.
Jaylen Brown didn't get crushed for that. Although we all thought Boston was the favorites in the East. Everybody did. You know, Tatum goes down, he loses a 3-1 lead, and then nobody kills him for it. But when Tatum has a bad game in the playoffs, we kill Tatum. Jaylen Brown gets praised every time he does good, but when he does bad, you don't really hear the criticism. So all this media hates Jaylen Brown. Oh, look at me. They don't want to vote for me. That is all crap. That's all in his head. That's all the stuff he's making up because that's not true. They love Jaylen Brown. All right. I remember when one of the media voters, I forgot his name. He's like a legend in the media. Bald head black dude. He from DC. What's his name? Dang. Stephen A. called him the Godfather. He said,
Wilbon.
He said, Jaylen Brown's an MVP. I can't vote for nobody who only played one side of the ball. To my Luka, killed Luka. But I bet he put Jokic up there though. So my whole thing is, people love Jaylen Brown. People love Jaylen Brown. I would say the media hates Tatum more than Jaylen Brown. I can make that case.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll make that case. I just think that they still view Tatum as the better player.
He is.
They hold him more accountable. They still view him as the guy, and so they hold him more accountable for the Celtics' losses more than they hold JB accountable, because they always look at JB as a 1B compared to a 1A, or a clear 2 compared to a number 1 in Jason Tatum.
Okay, hold on. He led league in scoring 0-1-0-2. Tell me what his record was, and tell me who beat him to the first team All-NBA. Remember back then, it was based on position. It wasn't like now when it's positionless. Who was above him in 0-0-2? It was probably Kobe Bryant.
Probably Kobe, yeah.
Come on, man. Like, come on, y'all.
Probably Kobe, yeah.
Like, Allen Iverson was going to get in there as a point guard. He was a shooting guard, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think.
And then who was the point guard at that time? I'm trying to think.
Probably Jason Kidd.
But I'm about to say probably J Kidd. Yeah, it would have been tough.
You know what I mean? And then last thing I want to say this for the second and third team. I heard people saying like, Scotty Barnes. No, I'm sorry. Scotty Barnes, no. Over Chet, who was the number 1 seed, it was second in blocks. You know what I mean? And the numbers are kind of similar. Like he averaged 17, you averaged 18. He averaged 8 rebounds, you averaged 7. You know, Eric Snow. Eric Snow was a PG on the. No, we're not talking about.
No, we talking about the PG, the starting PG that was on the All NBA team.
Bro, what? Now we're on the same page. Tone it down. Now we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Don't play defense, but never gets cooked.
Yeah.
Hold on. You mean he never get cooked on the floor?
Right. No, I think he mean by the media.
By the media? Okay, I hope you mean by the media.
No, he get cooked on the floor.
All right. So Paolo, nah, bro. I'm sorry. I heard Tay. I know he a Paolo fan. The person I would have put in like the person that you want to make a snub, the biggest snub, which I think is not a snub, is Denny. I think Denny.
Who?
Denny,
Denny.
Yeah, I feel like because
that's a tough one.
People didn't know who he was. He got recognized in that playing game for real by the whole media. But nobody would have won paying attention to him because he averaged 24, 7, and 6.
Ooh, that's, you know what I mean? He got a case though.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
You had to put him over Jalen Duren, who averaged a double-double, 18 and 10 on a number 1 seed, and then you had to put him over Chat, who you could probably do. You know, put him over Chat because Chat averaged 17, 9, and 2. But Chat was second in blocks.
Is Jalen Johnson untouchable in that?
Yeah, bro. He almost averaged a triple double, bro, and he led the Hawks to the 5th seed.
Fair.
And they won that.
The Hawks was dead in the water too. That's fair.
Yeah, so I gotta put him up there.
That's tough.
But I think they did the right thing. But I think Denny is probably the biggest snub if you want to pick a snub.
That's fair. I like that. I like that. I was kind of, this gonna sound mad disrespectful.
Oh man.
But I think it's just, you know, I think it's just 2020 vision. Given what I've seen in the playoffs and down the stretch, I was looking at KD a little suspect. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was looking at KD like, I had to go back and look. Like, let me see what KD do again this year. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I was thinking about it. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna leave KD alone. I'm gonna leave KD alone. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave KD alone. I'd be interested in seeing if Bron met that threshold, if he would have made I think he'd have made at least third team if he'd have played enough games. Because that was my first thought, like, where's Bron? Then I looked and see he didn't play enough games. I'm like, oh, but all right.
So okay, I got it right here. The first team All-NBA was J.K., Kobe, T-Mac.
Oh yeah, Mac was that's Orlando Mac, right?
Yeah, it's Orlando Mac. Yeah. Tim Duncan and
Shaq.
Right, and second team was Kevin Garnett, AI, Dirk, Peyton, and C Webb. Now I do want to get this out of the way. I'm sorry, now I'm done. All right, and then you look at Philly. Okay, Orlando won one more game than Philly. Because T-Mac was considered a shooting guard, though, right?
Yeah, T-Mac, or he kind of went between a 2 and a 3 here and there.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a hybrid.
Okay, so
I consider him more of as a shooting guard, but he can play the 3.
Yeah, okay, they probably put him there as a small forward then. Because I know back then they did it based on your position. Like if you play shooting guard, you only can make it with shooting guard. Point guard. Now it's positionless. You know, like I remember one time, like you got Jokic and Wemby. They both said
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you got SGA and Luka and K. That's 3 point guards, bro.
Yep.
For real. So yeah, but all right, let's wrap this thing up, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great show today. I hope y'all enjoy it. My last words. Okay, he was small forward. There we go. Yeah. Right back when it was okay. T-Mac was a what? Oh, okay.
He meant to say small forward.
Yeah. All right. Warriors Dynasty is over, bro. That jump been over, bro.
Yeah. It's over.
Shout out to you, Isaiah. Shout out to you. But great show, AJ. Very highly anticipated. I know we didn't do one last week, but I kind of feel like right now would have been better than last week.
Yeah.
The timing of it. But shout out to everybody on the R2L network. Shout out to everybody in the R2L community. Shout out to everybody watching on Timeout for Timeout. Shout out to everybody watching on the R2L show. Shout out to everybody in shout out to our channel. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make the show, man. I'm telling y'all, when y'all not here, it's different, you know. So we appreciate y'all for keeping the conversation going, adding on to our points, saying you disagree with us, you speaking up and saying that. We appreciate all that, and we show the ones we disagree with, we show the ones we like, you know, and we respond to y'all, as you can see. We don't ignore no smoke. All right. And also I want to give a shout out to, I know it's a baseball talk, my national, my boy Paul in the baseball chat, Atlanta Braves fan, #1, you know, team in the country and in the league, you want to say? Got them boys out of there. I'm talking about went all the way to Atlanta when it was raining and got them boys out of there. Should have been a sweep. We beat them 2-1. We was up the whole game, every game, and they stole it in extra innings in game 1. But after that, it was a wrap. So get out. Now they talking trash like y'all not gonna make the playoffs. That's what people say when they take the L.
Right.
Focus on making the playoffs. How about you should have focused on winning the series? How about that?
Right.
Anyways,
they got moved the goalposts. That's
exactly.
They got moved the goalposts.
But the Nationals got the #1 offense in the league, and also the worst pitch in the league. That's why we are 500 team. The #1 offense, though, we're excited. Very excited. We're gonna put some points up. All right. But that's that. R2L Day is June 30th. Sorry, June 20th. It's gonna be, I would say, Landover, Maryland. We're gonna make an official flyer with the address.
Say June 30th. What's going on, Joe? Hello. Hello now. Hello. Don't scare me like that now. Hello.
All right. So during it, if y'all are in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, pull up. If you in New Jersey, pull up. New York, pull up. If you can pull up. It's gonna be June 20th. Everybody from the R2L network, we all can get together from the R2L community. It's gonna be like a big old family cookout, basically. And we're gonna do a basketball tournament. And you know, Unfazed on the same squad. So make sure y'all pull up. We gotta represent and get this dub.
Sir.
So my commanders. I hear my boy Dietrich Wise said Jaden Daniels got that look in his eyes like he want to take over the league. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? And we got Eagles week 1. You know, Eagles week 1. So I'm looking forward to hopping on AJ Burrs to talk about that. And those are my last words. Let's get it.
My last words. Appreciate everybody watching on the R2L channel, on my channel, Timeout or Full Timeout. Like I always say, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you continue to comment, show love, tell your friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to come check out Unfazed, because we coming at y'all every week with hot content, especially this NBA season. This playoffs has been fun. It's been exciting. AJ Spurs, the latest episode was out last week. I came out, talked about the schedule, talked about how I felt about the draft picks, talked about some of the off-the-field controversy with AJ Brown. Talked about Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion been speaking real highly. I know that's what you kind of got to say. I know sometimes you a new coach of the bill. You can't come out and be like, yeah, Jay Hurts ain't looking the way I want him to look. You know what I mean? He ain't going to say all that. But I do like the things he's been saying Jalen Hurts, him and Jalen Hurts have hit it off. They agree on a lot of things schematically, and, you know, they're excited to get to work and get going. So, you know, I'm feeling real good about the Philadelphia Eagles' chances this upcoming season. So y'all make sure y'all tune in to AJ's Birds. I got more content coming for y'all every week. Lakers, you already know what to do. I already seen LeBron come out and, you know, do his thing in the whole offseason talk where it's like, you know, I'm looking to make sure my family good, looking to make sure I can still compete for a championship, all this other stuff. Lakers, y'all know what to do at this point. Y'all know what to do. It's time to build around Luka. If it's time to let him go, it's time to let him go. Do not overpay for LeBron this year. If you're trying to win a championship, it's time to build around Luka, and it's time to start that right now, in my personal opinion. It just is what it is. We seen we could do with Bron, and I'm very happy with LeBron's services. But if you're telling me we got to re-sign Bron, we don't get nothing else, we just looking at the same result we just had this past year, and I ain't trying to deal with that. So it's time to make some changes, and it's time to make things happen. And, yeah, make sure y'all pull up to R12 Day, man. I booked my flight all the way from Minnesota to come out here and to see my peoples, to eat good, to meet everybody, and most importantly, get buckets. Yeah, most importantly, come out there and get buckets, man. So I'm excited about that, and look forward to seeing y'all. But like usual, man, it's been fun. And Joe, this playoffs, maybe even the San Antonio Spurs, man, they got me feeling unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.